Hey friend, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever stood in your kitchen staring at the fridge, opening it, closing it, opening it again like something new might magically appear? Yeah, this is for that moment, and this is for the nights when you don't feel like cooking. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because you are just plain worn out. And today, we're not fixing you because you're not the problem. We're fixing the expectation. Segment 1, you're not lazy, you're overloaded. Let's just go ahead and say this out loud. You are not lazy. You are overloaded. There is a difference. And I need you to hear that without arguing with me, because somewhere along the way, we started believing that if we didn't feel like cooking, we were failing. Failing our families, failing our routines, failing this invisible standard of what a good homemaker looks like. But let's actually look at your day for a second. You've been answering questions since before coffee. You've been solving problems all day long. You've been juggling schedules, texts, work, life, emotions, expectations. And then, at the end of all that, you're supposed to walk into the kitchen and magically have the energy of a 1950s cooking show host. No, ma'am, that's not reality. That's pressure. And here's the truth. When your brain says, I don't feel like cooking, what it usually means is, I have nothing left to give right now. And that deserves support, not guilt. Segment 2, the reset mindset. So instead of pushing through, instead of forcing a full production meal, instead of standing there getting more frustrated by the minute, we're going to reset, not quit, not give up, reset. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is federal, done, peaceful. That's it. Segment 3, lower the bar on purpose. Let me introduce you to something that might feel uncomfortable at first. We are going to lower the bar on purpose because the bar you've been trying to meet, it's too high for real life. Dinner does not need to be from scratch, complicated, perfectly balanced, Instagram worthy, or emotionally fulfilling. Dinner needs to be simple, filling, done. That's your new standard. Say it with me. Simple, filling, done. And once you give yourself permission to operate from that place, everything changes. Segment 4, grab the backup plan. Now let's talk about the solution part of this, because I'm not going to leave you standing in your kitchen with nothing. This is where your future self steps in and helps you out. We're talking about pantry mixes, freezer meals, prepped components. Just add water kind of situations. Not because you can't cook, but because you shouldn't have to cook from scratch every single night. Segment 5, the pantry mix lifeline. Let's start with pantry mixes, because this right here, this is the quiet hero of a working kitchen. When you have something already measured, already layered, already ready to go, you remove decision fatigue. And decision fatigue, that's half the battle. Instead of thinking, what should I make? Do I have the ingredients? Do I feel like doing all this? You just grab the jar, follow the steps, done. No overthinking, no mental gymnastics, no standing there hoping motivation shows up. Because let's be honest, motivation is not coming at 6:42 p.m. Segment 6, freezer meals equals sanity saved. Now let's talk about freezer meals. These are your I love you notes. From past you to present you. Because on the day you made them, you had a little extra energy, a little extra time, maybe even a little ambition. And instead of using it all in one night, you spread that effort out. So now, on the night when you have nothing left, you still have something ready. That's not cheating. That's smart. Segment 7. What this looks like in real life. Let's make this super practical, because I don't want this to live in theory. You walk into your kitchen. You're tired. You don't feel like cooking. Instead of spiraling, you say, okay, reset. You go to your pantry. You grab a mix. Maybe it's a dry soup base. Maybe it's a skillet meal starter. Maybe it's a jar cookie mix for later, because honestly, we deserve that too. Or you open the freezer, you grab a bag, dump it into the crock pot or skillet, and then you stop. You don't add extra pressure and you don't complicate it. You don't try to turn it into something bigger. You let it be enough. Segment 8, the hard part, mentally. Now here's where most people struggle. Not with the food, with the permission, because there's this voice that creeps in that says, you should be doing more. And I need you to answer that voice with, not tonight. Because every night does not have to be your best effort. Every night does not have to be a production. Some nights are just about getting through. And that's okay. Segment 9, future. U-tip, the game changer. Now let's talk about the one small shift that changes everything. You don't fix this by doing more today. You fix this by doing one thing for tomorrow. That's it. Just one. Not a full prep day, not a massive overhaul. One small action. Maybe tomorrow you. Mix one pantry jar, prep one freezer bag, cook one extra portion and freeze it. That's it. Because over time, those small actions stack. And suddenly, you're not standing in your kitchen with nothing. You have options. Segment 10, building your Nope Night system. Let's give this a name, your Nope Night system, because we all have those nights. And instead of pretending we won't, we prepare for them. Your system might look like a shelf of pantry mixes, a freezer drawer of ready meals, a short list of default dinners, nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just reliable. Segment 11, what this changes. When you start doing this, a few things shift. You stop dreading dinner. You stop feeling behind. You stop tying your worth to how much effort you put into a meal. And instead, you create a kitchen that works with you, not against you. Segment 12, a little truth to end on. Let me leave you with this. The goal was never to become someone who always feels like cooking. The goal is to build a kitchen that still feeds you, even when you don't. Because those days, they're not rare. They're real life. Outrow. So tonight, if you're standing there, staring into your fridge, feeling that familiar, I don't feel like cooking, creeping in, take a breath, reset, grab something simple, let it be enough, and tomorrow, do just one small thing to make it easier next time. That's how we build this. Not in big, overwhelming changes, but in small, steady ones. All right, friend, I'll meet you back here soon. And until then, feed yourself kindly.